Hi. Okay, this is the first of a couple short videos for our lesson today on indefinite and relative pronouns. Okay, so remember what pronouns do. Pronouns take the place of nouns so that we don't have to keep repeating the noun. If I say, Alan walked to the door, Alan was leaving, if I have to repeat Alan, it's distracting and it sounds irritating to keep repeating the same noun over and over. So instead, I can say Alan walked to the door, he was leaving, and he takes the place of Alan. So he is a pronoun, and it takes the place of the noun Alan so that we don't have to keep repeating the noun. Okay? We've talked about two kinds of pronouns in previous lessons. We've talked about nominative pronouns and objective pronouns. Nominative pronouns are also called subject pronouns, and objective pronouns are also called object pronouns. So in one of our last lessons, we talked about subject and object pronouns. There are lots of different kinds of pronouns. We're going to look at two more kinds today. The first one we're going to look at is called an indefinite pronoun. So notice that the pronouns that we talked about before, the objective and nominative pronouns, they stand for, or they represent a specific person. If I say he, I mean a specific person, that person there, right? If I say they, I mean some specific people. I mean those people right there. Or if I mean you, I'm talking about a specific person, you, or all of you. Okay, so those pronouns that we talked about before, they represent a specific person, a definite person or people. The pronouns that we call indefinite pronouns, they represent an indefinite person. So I put a list of indefinite pronouns here in the middle of the handout. Each, every, either, neither, everyone, everybody, anyone, anybody, someone, somebody, no one, nobody. So if I say everybody, I don't mean a specific person. I mean an indefinite bunch of people. Or if I say somebody, I don't mean a specific person. I mean an indefinite someone. Or if I say nobody, I don't mean a specific person like him or her. I mean an indefinite no one. Okay? So indefinite pronouns stand for indefinite things. Definite pronouns are like nominative and objective pronouns, standing for a specific person. I or you or he or they. Okay? All right. Now, the problem with indefinite pronouns is that although they sometimes seem to mean a bunch of people, like if I say everybody, it sounds like I mean a bunch of people, right? But actually, I don't mean a bunch of people. I mean each, every single body. Each one, every single body, every one body. So, even though sometimes an indefinite pronoun sounds like it stands for or represents more than one person, plural, people, right? Grammatically, they are singular. They're always considered singular. And so, when we're using an indefinite pronoun, we have to make sure that we remember that they're singular, not plural. So that means we have to find the right verb that goes with them. We have to use a verb that goes with a single person, not a verb that goes with plural people. So let's look first, for example, at number 7. Let's look at number 7 on the front. This will illustrate the main issue we're talking about here. This says each of the stories ends in a wedding. Each of the stories. So each is one of our indefinite pronouns. We know it's singular, each one. And each is the subject in this sentence. stories can't be the subject because it's in a prepositional phrase. So, one of the main things we want to pick up from this lesson is that the subject of a sentence is never in a prepositional phrase. Okay? So, of the stories is a prepositional phrase, so stories can't be the subject here. So if we're going to connect the subject and the predicate, we have to see that the subject is each, and each is singular. So I would say each one ends in a wedding, right? Each one ends in a wedding. I wouldn't say each one end in a wedding. Each one ends in a wedding. So each of the stories ends in a wedding. Now this is sort of confusing to say because we're not used to putting a plural noun, stories, right next to the kind of verb that goes with a singular noun. If I said one story, the story ends in a wedding, right? I would say the stories, they end in a wedding. So we have to make sure we're using the right verb to go with the right subject, which is each, and each is singular. Each one ends in a wedding. So each of the stories ends. We say stories ends. It's an unnatural act to put that plural noun next to a verb that goes with a singular noun generally. All right, look up at the number 1. Everyone on both teams is or are going on the bus. Everyone on both teams is or are going on the bus. Okay, what's the subject in this sentence? It's not teams, because teams is in a prepositional phrase. On both teams. All right, so we have to find the right subject here to go with the verb. Everyone is the subject, and everyone is an indefinite pronoun. See, it's on our list up there. And indefinite pronouns are singular, so we have to consider it singular. Everyone is going on the bus. So everyone on both teams is going on the bus. If we said the teams, we would say the teams are going on the bus, because then teams would be the subject. The teams are going on the bus. But everyone is going on the bus. So find the subject, attach it to the right predicate, and remember that if the subject is an indefinite pronoun, it's singular. Now, if I can't find the indefinite pronoun easily, if I can't figure it out, if it doesn't sound clear to say everyone is going on the bus, use a pronoun that does make sense all the time. Use it if it's singular and they if it's plural. So I would say it is going. I wouldn't say it are going. It is singular. Everyone is singular. Everyone is going. So everyone on both teams is going. Down back at number 7, if we said the stories end in weddings. Stories would be the subject. They end in weddings. But each one of the stories, we would say it ends in a wedding. Each one ends in a wedding. So each of the stories ends in a wedding. Okay, we're going to stop here and we'll go on with the next video. Okay?